Brock Storm, and here's what you need to know about the rough weather coming in Los Angeles. This is shaping up to be one of the worst storms in LA's history, let alone the nation's history. We take it out now to our very own Hale Thunderstormson, who's in the eye of the storm, braving the elements. Hale, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Brock. Late last night, temperatures plummeted into the sub-75-degree range. We've been experiencing torrential downpours like this one. I mean, the rain is coming in sideways. It's been creating havoc on the roads. LAPD has advised that if you are planning on wearing suede or leather, stay indoors. I repeat, stay indoors if you are planning on wearing suede. Make sure to put the cover up on your Mazda Miata. Nobody wants cracked leather. I'll be keeping an eye on the sky. Back to you in the studio, Brock.
Whoa! Some really nasty stuff out there, Hale. Stay safe, buddy. Okay, as we take a look here at the mega Doppler radar, 11 billion, you're seeing about a 35% chance of fluffy clouds coming into the Inland Empire. So really the worst is yet to come. Some really nasty stuff is yet to slam into us. It's a low pressure front called the box score. Start right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the box score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, where they had a gaggle of college quarterbacks on today. You guys had Oregon's Vernon Adams Jr., Michigan State's Connor Cook, and Oklahoma's Baker Mayfield. Fritzy, how'd you pull this off?
Sometimes things just fall into place. The Michigan State quarterback was able to join us today. Oregon's quarterback we had been working on for quite some time, and even in spite of the loss, he was able to join us. And that's just one of those things that was not intended for the winning and losing quarterback of that game Saturday night to be on the same show. And then Paulie had a great idea about getting Baker Mayfield on, this cocky QB out of Oklahoma, with the comeback down 17-0 in Knoxville. So we ended up with a trio of college quarterbacks.
Vernon Adams was chatting with the boss about making the transition from FCS to FBS. McLovin, would you say there's a speed and size comparison that can be made for like going from the college game to the pro game?
Absolutely. So Vernon Adams couldn't get to the hole, just like Johnny Manziel can't get to the hole in the NFL. It's amazing to see. Vernon Adams couldn't run at all on Saturday night. It was pathetic for an Oregon quarterback. He's got a really nice arm, but he's not a runner. Johnny can't get around the corner, and he looks like a midget, although he did more this game than others. So I think that's a very good analogy, Brock. It would have been better if you'd asked me a question where I could have given the analogy instead of just sort of reconfirming your analogy. But you know what? You do your thing, Brock.
Okay, well, let me see if I can cross this out and make it better. Nope. Maybe next show. All right, well, Connor Cook is a quarterback who will be making that transition soon, and he's not afraid to talk about that. But you ask him one question, who's the best quarterback in the Big Ten? He shies away from it.
Best quarterback in the Big Ten is who?
I don't know that. I'm not going to say that. I know the answer.
Yeah, but I want you to be confident.
And I am confident. I just don't feel the need to say stuff like that. I'm going to keep it to myself.
You know, out of 10 letters in his name, 4 of them are O's.
Yeah.
There's
actually, I'm going to go.
2 C's and 2 N's, too.
Yeah.
He only has 4 letters that make up his name.
O's, a lot of N's.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Connor,
Is that
it's C, O, N, and R. Is there anything else in there?
R and K are really the
K, 5.
Is that a positive or negative, you think?
Well, scouts look at that, how many numbers, yeah. Like
repetition.
Bruce Gradkowski was
offense.
Bruce Gradkowski's, they're always downgraded. But like a guy like, let's see, who's a guy with a simple name? Tom Brady. You should have seen that. There's not that much going on.
But, Brock, I did like his answer because it was very self-aware. If he says, you're talking to him, I'm the best quarterback in the Big Ten, some people will like that and some people will pick it apart. If he says, you know what, Dan, we're all just nice quarterbacks, then he's flat out lying to you because he believes he's the best. So he kind of went down the middle, but a nice down the middle.
Well, you also had Baker Mayfield on today, a guy who is not lacking in confidence at all. And after the boss had a chat with that guy, you guys refired this debate.
We're talking about ideal bro quarterbacks. Now, this gentleman we just had on, Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
that's
my
what
God.
bro quarterbacks look like. They got the headband, and they're going big thumbs up to one of their bros in the crowd whilst on national TV with Coach Stoops.
Yeah. I think Connor Cook leans towards the nerd team.
Hard to say.
He didn't have any. He said, "What? You think I have beer in my refrigerator?" That was a nerd comment.
No, that was once again an educated comment.
Yes.
can't have beer in there.
Bros only hide beer.
No, bros.
He knew what he was saying.
Because he said something like, we've got goals to accomplish, and we can't do that with beer.
Andrew's spot on with that. That was a great call.
Thank you.
It was like your nerd radar.
I was worried that he's such a bro that he was throwing out a fake nerd sign to overcompensate for his utter broness.
Well, it was really nerdy. It was super
it was
nerdy.
almost like too nerdy.
It may have been a lie.
It might have been a red herring.
It may have been. Man, that's interesting.
He could be an educated bro. That's a offshoot of the bro, traditional bro. It's one that's ultra educated and knows when to bro out and when not to. Like Matthew Stafford is still a bro, but if you look at him these days, if you see him, no more hat on backwards, no more chicks on the pontoon boat. He's shielding the broness, but he's still first team all bro. Am I wrong? I know what I'm talking
the
about.
The analysis here on this is spot on.
If you've ever been on a pontoon boat, you're on the bro team.
I had a pontoon boat when I was in high school. My mother rented a pontoon boat. Because a pontoon boat, you can't really crash it. It's only going like 1 mile an hour, but you can have lots of beer and it's flat, so you can't really fall off it.
Where did you put it? Where'd you throw it in the water?
Up in Michigan. We had a little place in Michigan we rented, and it was the bro boat because all you do is go and just. And I was 15.
Sounds safe.
Started early. Mayfield was rocking the headband. Paulie, let me ask you here in another level of bro debate. Who wore it better? Was it Jim McMahon or this Baker Mayfield?
Man, that's a tough question.
Look at that guy.
That might be the toughest question you've ever asked me.
Paulie, I think you should really drop out of this. That's too close to home. That's like choosing.
He did look cool in the
Yeah.
headband, McMahon.
The headband was like a movement, though. Remember?
Yeah, remember,
like it was like a
he put
thing.
messages to Pete Rozelle.
And nobody did that. White guys didn't wear headbands before Jim McMahon. The guys in the ABA, the black guys in the ABA, headbands were common. Then it got into the NBA in the mid to late 90s. But NFL players wearing headbands, not common.
He did a POW MIA, right? He was
Roselle's, Sweetness.
Fantastic. All right, well, stick around. We are talking about screaming and yelling, but not in a good way. You want to scream? Go outside and scream Ram 1500 Eco Diesel because it sponsors the box score. We love it. Every truck can climb a hill, haul a trailer, and tow a boat, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. The box score presents great moments in DP show history.
Hey, you listen to me. No, don't throw. Stop. You don't throw that interception.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History. Oh, a very pasty Rudy there. We are back here on the box score. There's a lot of conversation about coaches yelling at their players, especially after Florida's coach Jim McElwain lit up his player Kelvin Taylor for his throat slash maneuver. Seton, what's the most heated exchange you've had with a coach or a boss?
Oh boy, is that a question and a half? Coaches, I had some coaches yell at me before, especially when I got into high school because I started really sort of being like, you know what? I kind of just want to ride my skateboard and play guitar. I don't really feel like doing baseball practice anymore. And I think my attitude reflected that. But certainly I've never really had any heated exchanges with any bosses except for maybe this current one.
Okay.
Me and Dan have gotten into it quite a bit, but
not a scene in front of all of us, really. If you got, not that I recall.
If you went out to dinner with us, you would see some scenes.
Oh, an argument at the dinner table?
Last winter? That one last winter?
Well,
with the music one? That started with the music one? That was pretty good, yeah. It was pretty tense. It wasn't incredibly loud, but it was tense on my side of the
there's a
table.
difference between debating something you're passionate about. Like he wasn't yelling about something you did work-wise, though.
No,
like a coach yelling at a player for something you did during the course of a game. That's like a whole.
No, I haven't gotten in trouble for an actual work thing, yelled at like that.
Paul, you went into the box today and talked about the one time Dan yelled at you in front of the crew and how that changed the dynamic of your relationship to this day.
Probably a month or two into working on the Dan Patrick Show, I made some type of mistake. I was new, I was working with Dan, and I did something he didn't like. And he came out, and in the commercial break, he yelled at me in front of the other staff members. There was probably 3 guys on the staff. And it wasn't crazy yelling, but he yelled at me, in sports radio sense of the phrase. And I pulled him aside after the show. I go, hey, dude, if you have a problem with something I do, or something mistake I make, just pull me aside. You can air me out. I don't mind being yelled at. I don't like being yelled at in front of a group. Not embarrassment, but then it kind of changes the tone of my job and any type of leadership role you have. So I asked him, I go, if you need to pull me aside and air me out for something I make, I'm fine with that. I'm a big boy. I could take a yelling. And he goes, okay, I got it. And he never did so again.
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's and Dan, always does a good job of that. If he's got to talk to one of us, we'll be beckon to the other side of the glass so he can chat with us privately. Rarely, does it become a whole screaming kind of thing. I can't speak for everyone else's experiences, but every once in a while, you may get a talking to where something is addressed that he's not thrilled with, or he has a question about it. And it's certainly, at least for me, Mr. Sensitive, it's a lot more pleasant instead of putting on a show in front of everybody and screaming and yelling. If there's something that needs to be addressed, to talk one-on-one, and then you guys can just kind of hash it out, as opposed to some kind of screaming thing while everyone's awkwardly listening in, standing around, taking it all in, not sure how to act or what to say. So
one time I got yelled at, and there's TV yelling. One time the football player, Ricky Waters, his car didn't arrive. I was a producer on this segment when I was working for the NFL, and the host, who I will not name, chewed me out in front of Ricky Waters like it was the end of the world. And Ricky goes off in his car bench. He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to make it look like I was upset in front of Ricky Waters." So Ricky Waters thinks that we were being professional. And he's like, "I didn't mean it personal in any way." I'm like, "Oh, you didn't mean it personal? Like Ricky Waters has anything better to do right now? He can wait 5 minutes for a car." But we got into it a little bit. But it was you do in TV they yell. Yeah, We've seen it, and it has a purpose. I guess.
No, especially in control rooms, it gets very intense, and there's chyrons and there's mistakes, and the video's not queued up. That goes on. You're right.
When I first started at ESPN, I was working part-time in radio and part-time in television, and I had no background whatsoever in television. So I was just like, all right, yeah, just I'll do whatever you want me to do, but whatever. And that first day, there's this paper called the shot sheet, and I delivered it to the talent, and they sort of put it over here and then lost it, and I got in trouble for not giving them the thing, and these people were tearing me a new one, they're calling me every name, getting really, really nasty, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then after the show, it's like, all right guys, great job everybody, way to go, that was good.
Yeah, who wants to go to Wendy's?
You did good for your first day. And I was just like, you were just calling me an a-hole 15 minutes ago. You told me I was the worst employee ever. What? And now, oh yeah, you did good your first day. What the hell?
The craziness of that, the heat of that moment, people just lose it, and they just are able to just pretend it never happened.
That's horrible. Bosses are always horrible, especially when they're at Long John Silver's. Screw all of you. Screw all of you, Long John Silver's. All right, stay with us. We will see which Danette came out on top of the DanDuel Week 1 Challenge. It may be one of McLovin's 16s. We are back here on the box score. Now that the Monday night football games are over, we can put a bow tie on the first week that was the NFL 2015 season. And we can also see who did well in the FanDuel Challenge with the Danettes. But before we get to that, McLovin, now let me ask you, Seton, has someone made McLovin delete his second team?
No, the real question that hasn't been asked yet is, are people doing multiple teams this week? We're allowed up to 3. Per league rules.
But you want to know how I got to that second team? We were setting up this first week, and I had a team. I'm like, well, I'm going to save it right now and then work on it some more. And somehow one of my versions of my team, so it's identical same team, there are only 2 changes. So that honestly, and you guys could see it was a technical error, but it's a technical error that could have helped me enormously.
Well, when we look back, though, through challenges past, say, March Madness tournaments that maybe you've been in charge of, that there have been technical errors on that benefit you greatly.
I don't control the back end of FanDuel. I don't control the back end of FanDuel.
It seems like technical errors have been a blessing to you almost every time. Rarely do they hinder your success.
Well, I did. It's funny because yesterday.
It's just a glitch.
Yesterday I thought I'd be the big man. You notice I was the big man, and I took the team that was in 10th place, not the team that was in 3rd place. Because I secretly knew the team that was in 10th place had Jordan Matthews going, where the other team had Steve Smith Sr., so it worked out in my favor.
This was a flashback. I finished, what did I finish? 496,
let's get to you, Paulie. Let's very back end of it all. You were at 496 out of 500 places. What are you going to do to sort of bring yourself up next week?
Well, almost anything. I mean, almost anything I do will bring me up. I'd be shocked if I was worse.
That would be.
It was a really funny flashback because when I went to high school, I was not a strong student. I actually got along with all my teachers, my students. I was a very did well at school. I didn't do well in the classes I didn't care about. So I was a 2.2 grade point average out of 4 in high school. And I remember in my senior year or sometime junior or senior year, they gave you report cards twice a year. And in your report card, it had your grades, then it had where your class rank was. And we had exactly 400 kids in my graduating class. And I was 390 out of 400. And one of my best friends was a kid named Brendan Kelly. Brendan was our valedictorian. He was also a pretty decent football player. He drank beer. He was a bro, but he was also a 4.0 student and just cruised, man. He was very intelligent. I think he went to Penn. Brendan was 1 of 400. I remember he goes, I go, let me see your report card. He goes, it's the same thing. And he was like lightly cocky about it. He'd be like, it's the same thing every time. And it was wow. A. He had no A minuses. Yeah. None. And it was perfect. It was A's for 4 years and 1 out of 400 for 4 years. And I showed him mine, and I laughed about it because the funny thing was he and I were exactly the same except for our report cards. We drank beer. He played football. I went to the football games. We hung out at each other's houses. And I remember once, and I know it's a long story, but my mother had to go out of town for a week, and it happened to be finals week for our school. Finals, I was the kind of kid who crashed so I could steal a C. Yeah. And I remember I spent the week at Brendan's house, and my mom was like, maybe someone what Brendan has will rub off on you. And Brendan didn't study. I was sitting there studying. I know, awful. But I'm sitting there studying for my finals, Brock. And I look and I go, Brendan, are you going to study for your final? He goes, no, I know it all already.
But it's nice that your mom's relying on some type of magic as opposed to hoping that you're going to be able to figure something out somehow intellectually to get
I read Sports Illustrated in high school, and look how it turned out.
All right. Well, if you're a slight case of dyslexia, you can go from Paulie's 496 to Seaton's 469th place out of 500. Now, you had Eddie Lacy. He was your big hitter with 17 points. Good, but not great. Cost you a lot of money at $8,500. You going to keep him on your roster this week?
No, I'm not going to keep Eddie Lacy, but I am planning on going with another big spending wide receiver. Running back from that same game. I'm probably going to take Marshawn Lynch. Ooh. Considering that Green Bay couldn't stop the run against the Bears, why would they be able to do it against the Seahawks?
When he got stopped on that 4th and 1, he's got something to prove. He's pissed off after week 1.
Hashtag analysis. See, I look at that team on paper. What's wrong with that team? I don't know. Like, Eddie Lacy. Your score is not that much different than mine.
Who would think that Andre Johnson wouldn't catch a lot of balls?
Exactly. How do you know that? Right, that he's gonna drop everything thrown his way, or that AJ Green didn't do anything really.
But it's a thin line. Like it's not like you had 0 points either. You had like a decent amount of points, so everybody's clustered real close, I think.
But then it's also, you analyze, it's like if someone had a bad week 1, it's like, okay, then they're due for week 2. Or is this person just bad and they're gonna have a string of bad weeks? You can talk yourself out of it.
Fritzy, you did a little bit better than Seaton. You hopped all the way up to 123rd out of 500, and you had a Broncos D that came up big big for you with 16 points. Are you going to keep a Bronco on your squad throughout this year, even in the bye weeks?
I'm not sure. I'm still kicking it around. As of this moment, I think I'm going to take a break. The Broncos have a short week. They're playing. They don't play well in Arrowhead. They got a game coming up already Thursday night. A couple of guys got banged up. They had no offense. So I'm not feeling Denver. I hope somehow they win the game as a Bronco fan. But from a FanDuel perspective, I was happy with Witten and DeMarco Murray getting some late touchdowns. Cam Newton didn't do much for me. My receivers were pretty useless, but 123 out of 500, especially after what Paulie had to deal with, where he finished up. I'll be content with 123rd.
All right, maybe you would be content with 1st and 2nd place, which I believe McLovin has. And you had some big hitters on your squad: Romo, Julio Jones, and Tyler Eifert, who all got 20+ points. So all those guys stay with you into week 2.
Boom.
Wow, I don't know. The word's out on Tyler Eifert.
Could you buy this team right now?
No,
won't that team be more expensive?
Eifert jumped up like crazy. Jarvis Landry was way underpriced last week. I think a few of us had him. He went up like crazy. Julio went up too. I mean, Julio's the best. He was great. Romo plays the Eagles next week. I think we're all looking at that one. That's an interesting matchup. But
set us up. This is one of your setup lines?
No, but
or is it not a setup line?
You know who I love this week is Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Washington.
Ooh, doesn't Drew Brees?
Well, I gotta warn you guys. Every week
I love Drew Brees.
Every week we do a theme, And the theme may or may not work out. The one we're leaning towards may or may not work out for you guys.
Tune in tomorrow.
Effect.
That's
All right, yes. Well, congratulations to McLovin with your victory. And tune in to the box score. Of course, Thursday we will have another FanDuel draft day. You can have a whole new squad, another chance to win big. All right, we're going to take a break. There are some changes to the poll question. That's right, dude. But first, we're going to take a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Guts, dude. Glory, dude. Ram. Oh, we are closing up shop here on the box score. The quest to find the perfect poll question is getting tougher by the day. And as McLovin searches for those clicks, sometimes he falls up short. That's when the boss turns to the front row and our man Paul Pabst.
McLovin, what kind of poll question you got for me today?
Okay, Paulie's been sending out every morning. He's been sending out his dude poll question.
Yeah, I didn't know what this was when I saw it. You sent it yesterday, dude ? And then I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it, Paulie.
Well, it's like, you know, when someone does something wrong or even right, you just go, dude. Or like let's say you come in with a shirt and it's just awful. Guys don't say, hey, dude, that shirt's awful. You just go, dude. And so I thought, dude, Eli and the Giants.
Oh, okay.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
It's like a dog turning their head slightly sideways when something is off.
Dan was just playing along because he wanted you to.
Yeah, surprised Dan didn't catch this, but I don't think he's part of the dude generation.
Is that what was?
No, he's from the man generation.
Yes.
Remember, Dan's from I was on the cusp of the man-dude generation. When I was a kid, you called someone, hey, what's up, man? And I still say man to people. But in the 80s to 90s, it became dude. And then 90s to today, I would say more the 2000s, it was bro or bra.
The aughts.
So I think dude covers everything. And you got there's a great comedy bit by, I think it's Rob Schneider, which usually those two things don't go together. And he just does a 5-minute bit on the word dude and how it could be used. And so that's it.
I like thinking back. Whenever you do a dude topic, I think back to our original days of getting on the show when I was the main critique of me on the air from one of our bosses was he says dude all the time. And so that is always running through my head. It's just dude all the time. We go with the dude poll question.
That's how people talk.
It all comes around.
Hey, McLovin, a lot of people say dude or bro when they don't know the person's name. What is your go-to when you don't know someone?
I think I'm a hey man, how you doing? Paulie's got like 30 of them. That like he called me about 2 years of show. What's up, governor? Or something.
Yeah. Well, I think there's levels.
Captain.
There's commander. Paul's a big commander.
Yeah. Well, there's levels of phone names. Like if you know somebody, but you know him, and he knows you. I always use Bud because Bud's kind of friendly.
Hey, Bud.
What's up, Bud? And then that means I know you, but I just don't remember your name.
Right.
And you know, like if I was over at NBC offices about a month ago. I saw like 5 people I knew by face, but I could not remember the name. Hey, what's up, Bud? Good to see you. But I'm good. I'm guessing none of their names were Bud. But if you don't know someone, hey man, what's going on?
But no one put you on the spot and said like, okay, what's my name?
No.
That would be really awkward. That would be terrible.
But sport champ, pal.
Then one of the other sort of the offshoot of that is a thing that I've learned is you're never nice to meet somebody. It's always good to see you.
Right.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that wait, I'm not meeting you for the first time. This is like actually the 4th time you've been here. It just dawned on me now.
It's so awkward if you
gotta go. Hey, good to see you.
It's like nice to meet you. Like,
Now, Fritzy, you don't remember anybody's
I have
name. Nobody's. And Fritzy always says,
what's this guy's name?
Fred.
Yeah.
I have memory. For years and years of anxiety and stress, it's killed off with the brain cells that go with remembering.
The guy with the camera right now.
Frank.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Good luck at your son's bar mitzvah.
He's got a lot of. He's Ian. He's Ian. Okay, I got it.
All right, Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Marshall Falk will join us tomorrow. Jeff Gordon will be joining us as well. So we're looking forward to that. We may hear from David Faherty as well on Wednesday.
Fantastic. All right, thanks you. Congratulations, McLovin. We are back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on Audience Channel 239. Dude, brah.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!